Hi, you guys. This is Mint Suggestions on Friday. What is that? There's something on my camera. What is it? Yeah, I don't know what the heck that is. It was glares weird. But anyways, today I did tell you guys on Monday, the ones that tuned in for Mintu Monday, that I was working currently on a customer's order and I was gonna reveal to y'all on Mental Suggestions um what the end results of the pillow. So here is one of the customer's pillows. I don't know if you guys can see it, but she wanted like a king lioness on her pillow, and of course I have my business label and stuff on the back. I was really deciding I didn't want to cover up the face of the lion with my business card because I figured it'd look a lot more better when I she wants to be surprised with it. So when she actually sees the front, is more attractive to show the full picture of how the pillow turned out versus putting this big old label in the middle of the lion's face. But anywho, moving forward today, I do have a couple more customers orders, and we got a lot of Bears fans, so um, I've already measured, and cut out the fabric that is going to be used and sold, and it's already sold. But today's topic, to get straight to the point, I will be sewing in the middle of talking about today's topic. Today's topic is self control and maintaining self control. Um, so let's start with self control, having self control. So, my definition and understanding of what self control is being able and being capable to control yourself, whether it be in a social environment, whether it be by yourself, whether it be in situations that make you comfortable or uncomfortable. You have to maintain, especially in a society, you have to maintain some type of self control in order to survive and be able to not get locked up, shot at, um, be on like just a unstable emotional roller coaster, um, is what I understand. And my definition of understanding the definition of self control is, or has supposed to be um, presented or understood. So, um, like I said, uh, self control and what did I say? Self control and maintaining self control, in my opinion and my understanding, are two different things because everybody is taught from a child of how you're supposed to conduct yourself. And that's part of what, people define this is what self control, and this is how you learn. And people when it comes to understandings from kids up to adults, this is how you're supposed to present and conduct yourself is the word I'm trying to find. This is the way you're supposed to conduct yourself around social environments or people. Period. So, um, going off of what I understood and what I've been taught, um, maintaining just having self control is hard as hell, especially in this life. The way it's increasing, where it's a lot of more hostile people, a lot of Karens, a lot of y'all know, a lot of Karens, and a lot of entitled people that just, they have zero manners, and you just gotta, you have to find a way to not to play in their playground is what I would call it. Because you have a I think in my opinion and my experience, I feel like to me, I'm able to control myself by myself versus in a social environment because a lot of shit pisses me off. Pisses me off. And a lot of stuff I don't really understand why it happens. And unfortunately a lot of that has everything to do with self-control. Um, like I said, we were all raised and taught um, based on how we supposed to conduct ourselves, maintain ourselves, and keep that that self control. But a lot of us, where we fall down on, and I can speak for myself, I fell down on as well, is not it's harder to me to maintain self control on a consistent basis, especially when you change from different situations and scenarios that you're either not comfortable with, not familiar with, or just purely pisses you the hell off. Um, I get a lot of instances, like for instance, I recently, for example, I had an incident where I was standing in line at Walgreens and I had to go get I was in line for my medication. I was picking up my refill of my medication. And I walked, it was a Somalian lady and a Hispanic lady. The Hispanic lady, as I'm walking into the line, where she dots off and just leaves and goes somewhere. So I'm thinking, okay. And I guess she, whatever was going on to make her get out of line, not my problem. This is what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, maybe because she started walking a little bit farther away, but she literally decided she's going to go out the line and go somewhere. So I'm standing behind this Somalian lady, and she's like, she goes in front. I mean, she goes and she's in the middle of the doctor getting her medication, and I'm sitting in line because I'm next in line, right? So all of a sudden the Hispanic lady, she comes back and she just steps right the fuck in front of me, like she, like, I was holding her spot. And mind you guys, this heifer didn't say shit at all, like, hey, could you hold my spot, anything. She just came back like, well, I was here, with the attitude and excitement. She didn't say anything. She just came back into the line in front of me, like, well, I was here with the conscious attitude, like, well, I was here before you were here. But I'm in my head, I'm like, but heifer, you just walked off, like you, and then you never came back until then I got closer to the line, or I was the next person in line. So how the hell is it you next? So honestly, at that time, I was ready to snatch that heifer fucking hair and beat the shit out of her. The first reaction was to check her, like, heifer, you need to get your ass to the back, because once you get out this line, you can't just come back and renew your stuff. That's some entitled shit. That's what I wanted to say. But I had to tell myself, I had to reevaluate, dude. I had to think logically and reevaluate the situation and say, Kendra, you have an anger problem. If you say something to this individual, she's probably more likely, as the average person will do, become confrontational and lippy. You have a hard time just letting shit go. You know what I'm saying? Like and what I mean in a healthy way, like allow her to say whatever the hell she want to say, allow me to say whatever the hell I want to say. Basically, I'm looking at the scenario like, okay, here's the thing. You say something to her, you're gonna get into it. Two things are gonna happen. You're gonna get into it. Both of y'all gonna get kicked out, and you ain't gonna be able to get your medication. Mind you, this is around the time that I'm running out of my medication, so I really needed it. So I'm like, and then the other one is like, Kendra, she'll probably, the way your anger works, you'll probably end up hurting this female real bad. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll have to be sitting in jail over, I beat her ass up because this heifer cut the line. So I beat her ass the hell up because, you know what I'm saying, not only she cut the line, she want to get smart, like you know what I'm saying, like somebody did something wrong to her instead of just correcting and, but I had to sit there and I had to reevaluate it, and then I came up with two scenarios because I know my temper. And this is, I was talking to you guys. I think I had a Mental Monday. Anybody that tunes in or whatnot, you probably seen a couple of videos where I express how violent and how mentally, how would I say, how mentally my mental health or my anger problems. I'm not even gonna just say my mental health. My anger problem can be like I've gotten videos and Monday where I want to that I purely just directly said get me so upset, with not being able to talk to my kid around those times. It got me so upset where I literally said in the video I want to kill people or kill others or kill my child's father or something like that. You know, and then I've had other videos where I say, Kendra, I've realized spending time with myself and understanding I have a severe anger problem, and accepting. I say, and another thing, accepting, because one thing that I had to learn in order that plays a lot in maintaining um self-control is not only spending time with yourself and understanding what's your limit, because that's very important. Also reevaluating if you have more than just what you were told mentally, or what I'm saying, understanding, learning how you react and how much you can tolerate things. And I realized that I'm quick tempered and I'm violent. And me understanding that and taking accountability, like, Kendra, hey, your violence is not normal. Your violence is not like, okay, like normal people. What I say normal is just we have an argument, we probably have some exchange of words, and then we go our separate ways. And that's kind of how it goes. Mine is, I have to. I feel like sometimes I feel like I have to have less word, or I feel like I'm sorry. I feel like I feel like I had to explode in order for people to stop playing games. And you know how you get to that deranged point where you feel like people testing your patience. Because I know a lot of you guys out there, like, you get to a point of anger where you get people where you know what I'm saying, you just get a consistent, it just feels like when you're on a path for trying to be a better person, or you're trying to be not as aggressive, I feel like I go and I bump into a lot of people that I feel play with my emotions. Um, and what I mean by that is they testing my patience. You know what I'm saying? For some unknown reason, in my head, motherfuckers know who to try, and they just decide they just want to try me. And I feel more like I'm a pushover instead of um, an individual that's being respected for being just an individual, you know, and dealing with society. But like I was saying, um, yeah, so me standing in line, I had to reevaluate my anger. I had to reevaluate, Kendra. If you say something that's helpful and she says something to you back, y'all gonna be into it. Then you probably gonna be kicked out and then banned from Walgreens. And then you need to go to Walgreens, so this is where you put your medication, and then you won't get your medication. And then you'll probably get to the point where you get so mad you beat the shit out this woman, and you're in jail and you're dealing with 4 charges, and you're already dealing with enough on your plate. Now, I had to ask myself and be honest, like, hey, do you want, is this the end result you want to be dealing with. You already got a case. You know, you already got a case. You don't want another one just because you know what I'm saying, motherfucker ain't got are entitled and disrespectful and they line hopping is what it's called, line hopping. So like I said, I have to reevaluate that and maintain. Like I honestly, long story short, I just let it go. Basically, I let it go. Um, and even like it's hard. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not impossible to maintain self control, but it can be a challenge, especially if you're not honest with yourself about who you are and what you're capable of and what level of anger or what level of personality that you are. Um, like me, like I said, spending time with myself, understanding myself, researching personal development in myself, I realized a lot of things that I didn't. And it's not even that I realized a lot of things because I knew I had an anger problem. I knew my anger problem was violent. But I also had to, it gave me a challenge. It helped me challenge. Okay, so why are you so violent? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that your anger is not, because it's not abnormal like, other people just argue and let it go, or check a person and let it go, let them tange off. And that's because the violence that was shown towards me growing up, that was the response of how you handle a situation, is that if a person pisses you off, you beat them up. You curse them out. You don't let it go. It wasn't growing up. I was taught it wasn't normal. I was taught and experienced and was treated that if I piss somebody off, this is what you're supposed to do. This is the violence you're supposed to carry out. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, a lot of us never grow out of it, and a lot of us never get to the point where we understand that what we were shown, especially people that have grown up to be abused, or people that fetal or babies that were grown and had narcotics in their system because their parents didn't give a damn about their life, you know what I'm saying, their life and the life that they were given, had given birth to. So back to the self-control, like I said, you have to reevaluate and be honest with yourself, because it'll save you a lot. It'll save you a lot of hassle, but it definitely will save you a lot of free, not going to jail, not seeing lawsuits, not having to deal with people. Like I've even had another example. I was working, truck driving, and I was doing my Moffitt. And this is before I got on the correct medication as well. So this is before the Walgreens. This is like last year. So I'm delivering bricks and foundations to build houses and stuff. So I come to this one trip. Let's just say this one trip where it was a parking lot where it was shared by a business, and then it was shared by residentials. And I get to the end of unloading everything off of my loading everything off my flatbed. And all of a sudden I see this guy nosing around my car. I mean around my truck. So I'm like, what the fuck? Instantly I'm like, who the fuck is this nosy ass damn neighbor? And come to find out, I go across the street, so I go across the street. Mind you guys, I park my truck on the side where the business is, but it's a one-way exit and entrance into this parking lot. The only reason I didn't park on the other side where I had to deliver the property is because there was nowhere to park and be able to unload from both sides of my flatbed in order to deliver. Mind you guys, there wasn't any street parking anyway, either, because there's a freeway. You might as well say it was a busy intersection. And I couldn't park on there and be able to safely deliver. So half of my tires on my driver's side is sitting on the grass, and the other half is sitting on the gravel, but it's out of the entrance and the exit way, so people that's leaving can still go, and I don't have to move my truck. So for some unknown reason, this old white man, and yes, I did say it, because he was old. Because if he was an old black man, old Chinese man, he still would have had. So I still would have identified his race. So let's just get to that. Um. Anyways, I'm crossing the street. So I get across the street. I'm like, okay, let me see what the fuck he wants. So I stopped by, I leaned down, and I try to listen to what he's saying. He's like, "You can't park here. Stop, stop, stop." So I just lifted back up and I kept moving. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. And in my head, I'm not saying, I didn't say it to him because I was raised to, respect your elders or whatever. Well, not really. But so he goes around the opposite side, the driver's side, and he's picked up something and he puts them on my flatbed. I'm like, I don't give a damn. So he comes where I'm loading up my Mafia, because you guys, this is around the time that I'm done. So he's like, move the fucking truck now, move the fucking truck now. So I had to tell him, ooh, give me one second. It don't matter. I'll get that later. Anyways, so I had to tell him, I leaned over, because what he ends up doing, mind you guys, I'm putting up my Mafia. He ends up standing in front of my Mafia, yelling, move the fucking truck now, move the fucking truck. So mind you guys, I'm on the wrong medication, and my day is hot, it's dry, I'm already fucking irritated. I had to take my medication, 30 minutes in, and it kicked in. I'm like, okay, cool. So one side we say, well, Kendra, he's standing in front of, how we're going to put up the Mafia. He's standing in front of the Mafia. What are we going to do? Then the other side of me say, run his ass over. So I decided to slowly creep, towards where I'm supposed to be putting out my Mafia, and, put my Mafia up. This motherfucker gets scared and hurry up and jump from behind, in front of the damn Mafia. Like, okay, she ain't stopping. This bitch crazy. So he steps over the side. He's still yelling, move the fucking truck. Move the fucking truck now. So I stop and I say, sir, mind you, while he's saying that, he's walking up towards me, closer to my face. I said, sir, if you walk up on me again, I am going to mace you. What the fuck did you just say? I said, sir, if you run up on me again, I'm going to mace you. Oh, you done fucked up now. So I'm like, yeah, call the police. I don't give a shit. He goes over on his side, okay? He goes over on his side of his property, and instead of this motherfucker calling the police, he's calling my bosses. So I'm getting ready to leave or whatever, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I did some petty ass shit. I just gave him a middle finger and everything, and he was like, and then he started coming back and then re-walking up to me, like trying to run up on me, and I said, sir, this is the third time. I've already told you. This is the third time. It will not be another warning. I am going to mace you. That's exactly what I told him. So, anyways, little do I know, I didn't even know he was on the phone with my bosses until they called me, because they're hearing me telling this man, like, look, don't run up on me anymore. I'm going to mace your ass. I don't give a shit how old you is. Your old ass will be rolling over in his goddamn dirt, crying your ass off because you fucked up. You had no self-control, and this side of ain't even your fucking property. And then, I'm telling my boss, like, look, they're like, well, you don't know. Yes, I do. Because if it was his property, he would have been he wouldn't have had to walk his ass back on his property to go get the phone and then call y'all. Here's the kicker. He's on the phone and he changed tones. You wouldn't have never thought this motherfucker was as aggressive and possessive as he was. This motherfucker was the nicest individual talker than my bosses ever. Ain't no anger, ain't none of the acting that he deserved. But I brought that up to say, like, that was a Karen. I want to be honest. I'm gonna tell you something. I watch Karen videos a lot, sometimes a lot on YouTube. I never would have expected or thought I would have encountered a Karen. So it gets worse, right? I'm getting ready to pull out. You know what this stupid idiot does? He takes his brand new nice ass white car and he blocks the entrance and exit so I can't get out. So guess what I did? The same grass he wanted me to get off, I ran right over that curve and got away from that crazy fool. Because basically he was trying to block me in for some unknown reason. I don't know what was wrong with that dude. I think he just didn't have, and this is around when COVID just started and everybody cooped up in their house. But anyways, like I was saying, that place, that's where my self-control was. So I'm like, 30 minutes from now, if I didn't take my medication, I would have been with the shit with your old ass. I'd have fucked you up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how my attitude is. But that shows that you can still have self-control and maintain self-control by still politely telling somebody, like, look, I don't know who you messing with, but I'm gonna politely tell you, you ain't intimidate me. And if you get your old ass in my face and run up one more goddamn time, I'm gonna make the shit out you. Sometimes, just saying that, you still in control. You just letting the person know, look, I'm not the one, and I'm not about to be bullied or chastised or intimidated by you. I think since I've did the Moffitt, I think I've had like 3 encounters where somebody pissed me off, where, some entitled fuckers, because I'm going to tell you something. That's why I say self-control is very important, because it controls and it dictates where your future and your life is going to land. And if you react to every idiot, every Karen, every entitled person, every asshole, because I'm going to tell you something, you're going to meet them. You're going to meet people that are going to be the worst of the worst. And in my head, I sometimes when I see motherfuckers, I be just trying to think, like, well, I wonder if you keep picking at that so. I'm wondering if so, hypothetically speaking, picking at that so will it bleed? Well, what I mean by that is, if you keep with the same attitude and persona that you're doing, I feel like that individual is going to eventually get theirs, where they're going to run up on somebody that's going to hurt them, because that person hasn't mastered and maintained self-control, or they don't agree with society's standards of what self-control and how they should conduct themselves. Like I said, it's very, very, very much important for you to know how to stay in control, have self-control, and also it's very important to be able to understand you're going to always have people out there that's going to push you to the limit just because their life is miserable as hell. What I would suggest, and it's been times, and I just gave y'all like 2 different examples where it was from petty to extreme, and how I ended up um, maintaining my anger, maintaining my violence. You know, I was grateful. Now that I think about it, when it comes to me even putting that person, when he was standing in front of my Moffat, and I just was like, you know what, I had 2 sides and I chose, and we all had made an anonymous decision. Hey, keep moving. That motherfucker gonna move because he don't stay his ass in front of there because he ain't running shit. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, his stupid ass moved and realized that you ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't, I wasn't gonna stop. Or, he was scared to get really hurt. He was just one of those that he was just a fucking verbal bully, is what he was. Um, but like I said, I know that I have anger problems, and nowadays as I get older, I also understand that I have zero patience for stupid ass people or stupid shit. So I try to. It's hard. Like I said, it's hard to maintain your patience when you're dealing with a lot of idiotic people that don't give a damn about nobody but themselves. That there in itself, you know what I'm saying? Just saying that statement, you can relate to probably experience or individual where you found it hard to maintain your self control. And like I said, self control also means patience. Um, Being able to have patience and realizing that hey, this shit is only temporary, but it only will get worse if you react in a wrong, inappropriate way, or if you don't react according to society's standards of acceptability. Um, like I said, I lucked out, and that idiot was only he was a verbal bully, but over and all, he was a verbal bully, but over and all, that's all he was. Um, like I said, I feel like self control and maintaining it are two different things. I will encourage anybody that's in a situation where you feel like you about to lose your cool, you want to behave in a situation where you want to harm somebody. Think, reevaluate your situation and think about the scenario in two different ways. Hey, if I attack this person, if I say something to this person, this may happen, this may happen. It hasn't happened now, but it can happen. What kind of circumstances would I be putting myself in by reacting to this idiot? And where I'm gonna be versus where this idiot's gonna be. Because God knows there will not stop being fucked up people birthed in this world. And I realized too, of my observation on online and just uh, intertwining and being social, people don't want better. They enjoy the chaos. So like I said, living in a world full of chaos, you have to make sure that you stay in control, not for the fucking people that are provoking you, for yourself, because you deserve to have a better life. You deserve to be able to have maintain that emotional, part of you. You deserve to be happy. You deserve not to be miserable. You deserve not to be locked up because you couldn't control yourself. Think of it in a different way. Like, this ain't about, even if you can't accept the fact that you don't want to go and live according to the law or the human law of living, or maintaining self-control. Think about it as you're doing this for yourself. You're keeping yourself out of being locked up, out of being in situations where it can really get out of control, or out of situations where after you argue with an individual, you're still stressed out because you feel like you whether you win that argument or not, you still at your stress level is still at an all-time high because it still bothers you. You get what I'm saying? It's still left on your spirit. But like I say, I'm gonna say this in closing. Um, Definitely take care of yourself. Think about self-control in a different way versus, oh, I got to do this in order to live in society. You have to do this for yourself because you deserve better, and you're the only one that's going to be able to give you better. Nobody else can, especially grown ass adults. You got to start looking at things completely different. Like me, and sometimes I get so discouraged of doing these videos because I didn't have no reviews. But I say, Kendra, you know what? Fuck reviews. You know, and I look at it like I'll need to go back and review it myself. At least it'll be recorded when my daughter can sit here and watch, and she can see who her mama was. And her mama was, well, where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through all this ridiculous custody issues. There are joint custody shit with my ex. You know what I'm saying? Her father. She can look back on these videos and figure out who mom is. Like, hey, mom hadn't changed. You know what I'm saying? Mom's still the same. She's still here. I love you. But like I said, anyways, the main topic is, self control, and you deserve to have control and not lose it or lose what you got going over your reaction towards people in social uh, environments. So, um, you guys have a wonderful day. This is Mental Suggestions. Usually it's with me and Deanna. Today it was just me because things where we weren't able to meet up together. But yeah, take care of yourself. Be safe. Know that the only person that's going to put you in a better situation is you. That's the answer. And that's who you need to invest in. Everything else will eventually work itself out.